What's happening, people? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's happening, people? It's your boy Chaos, and it's just our opinion segment. You know what I'm saying? In today's segment, as always, you know what I'm saying? Before we get to the topic, I want you guys to subscribe to the channel, DJ Chaos, the Mix Master, at YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You want me to promote something for you on the live podcast, you can always hit me up at chaoticdjsmusic@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? Or you can watch me live, DJ Chaos Music Lover _46 at twitchtv.com. And also you can follow me on Facebook at Halo Jones. All right, let's get to the topic. The topic for this segment is, why was Kevin Samuels hated by some black women? Well, I'll tell you why he was hated. In my perspective, here's the thing. Kevin Samuels, I watched his shows many a times back here when he was here on Earth, you know what I'm saying, and still alive. And what I got out of the show was, a lot of his shows was a lot of empowerment, a lot of seriousness, and a lot of, what I'm saying, positive thinking, and a lot, basically discipline to basically get certain black women to get their minds out the clouds thinking that they're this and that or that when they really not. The thing is, this is what's missing in our communities as black men and women, because we have been brainwashed, you know what I'm saying, by you know who. I don't have to say who they are, but you know what I'm saying. And it's not being said, nor is being shown. Well, hell, it's been shown because you can see it, you know what I'm saying. But some people might not want to talk about it. But, once upon a time, I could say we can go back probably maybe 60 years ago. The black woman knew her place in the home as far as being the wife, the mother, the second guardian in the family that basically took care of the house, took care of her kids, took care of the family, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nobody, we know at that time, the black man, he basically took care, he was basically the front runner of the home, true enough. Uh, and and the woman knew her duty to do her job, and he knew his duty to do his job. You know, and that's what basically brought both of them together in unison to basically keep law and order in the home, because both of them knew their jobs to take care of the home. Okay, if you notice, back then everything was pretty much on the prowl of success and unity, amongst the black family. But something happened, I want to say in the mid 60s, around the civil rights movement. And what had happened was a woman named Gloria Steinway started this woman's liberation movement. And she basically was trying to get women to basically side with her, to feel like that, you know, a woman can do pretty much everything a man can do. And her biggest target was black women. And to basically tell black women, you don't have to, want for a man, or have the whole notion of thinking that you need a man to basically see your way through life. Not knowing that most black women basically back in the days, and even today, always had the notion to want to be on the white side of the game. They've had the basically, even as far as slavery, to want to be Caucasian. And this is no cap or nor or a debate, because all you got to do is just look at the sister's hair and eyelashes, and it'll tell you the story on what this really means. So, you know, the Caucasian man always depict his white woman to be the visualization of beauty in the Western world, and depict black women to be less beauty. That's the reason why most black women, even way back in the days, did not feel like they were beautiful enough in certain ways or another. And some black men used to pretty much follow the template of the white man to say that the black woman was ugly, but it wasn't that very many. But more of the story, she was basically the reason why black women started to turn the other cheek with the black man, thinking that she really could do for herself and not have the black man be at home. But it was basically just getting his feet wet, behind the concepts of Gloria's Miss Gloria's mindset of basically changing the game in the black community as far as the black man and black woman's relationship was concerned. And not to mention that she was basically a CIA agent. She was working for the government, and they paid her to basically brainwash black women to thinking otherwise, because quiet as kept, she talked all that talk about men, but at the same time, Miss Steinway was still married to her husband. Now, when you've basically brainwashed the black woman to thinking that she don't need a black man, what that does is set up a division between the black man and black woman to become more of a divide and conquer mechanism in the community. And what this basically specifies is that the black woman will take this trait and will carry it on for times to come. I mean, look at it right now in the black community. Most black women feel like they don't need a black man or a man, period, because of the brainwashing of that time. Now you got to the point where the black man is basically saying he don't need a woman, the black woman saying she don't need a man. And a lot of times when black men say they don't need a woman, it's because he basically heard what his mother said about black men. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically a brainwashing mechanism that basically is basically uh has becoming has became a generational curse amongst our people. Now, fast forwarding to the whole concepts of brother Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is a much older guy than I am. I'm sure, I think he was like maybe about 6, 7 years older than me. So he grew up. He's basically is what you consider a Generation X baby, just like I'm a Generation X baby. and he understands the notion of the change that basically went down in our communities as black men and women. And you can see the results in this generation of the 21st century. What you see is that more black women now have become more I don't care what you say and what you think and how you think about me, and basically doing any and everything that makes themselves look real devalued and basically look like they don't give 10 shakes of a fat rat's ass about their society, their family, their friends, hell, themselves. And it basically carries on this trait to another generation that comes right behind them to have the same mindset. So you got to think about it. All the way from 19 to the mid late 1960s, all the way to 2023, you have had maybe what about five or six generations since then of black women basically becoming unsubmissive to a black man, unsubmissive to themselves, really, because if you really think about it, a lot of the black women, they basically had to make themselves think, make themselves love themselves by getting somebody else's approval. Because back in the days, black women already knew how good they looked, how pretty, and pretty much some way, shape, or form, knew their natural ability to be who they are. Nowadays, it's not even the same anymore. So you have a brother like Kevin Samuels that comes out of the darkness that basically sees this and he talks about it. He was basically trying to put the black woman back on Front Street as far as her getting an understanding on certain things that she can pursue and certain things that she can't, on how to take care of herself, how to maintain herself, how to get her head out the clouds, thinking that she can get this person, that person, because of how she's shaped, or how she look, or whatever kind of job she got, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even the case. So Kevin Samuels basically was opening up the whole concepts of showing black women the, the whole concepts of that you're not who you say you are, and get your head out of the clouds. Turn off the Disney Channel in the land of make believe, like Mr. Rogers, and get an understanding on who you really are and accept who you really are, and basically get a better notion that everything that you think is for you might not be for you. This is accept who you are. And most black women of today can't accept who they are. And this is why they get all emotional, they get all confused. And when they do date a guy, they might not really know how to value that guy to the point where, you know, she might make bad decisions with the guy and they might get into an argument or fight or whatever the case may be. He might get caught cheating or whatever the case. And then she basically takes it out on all men. And this is what you see nowadays, because most black women will be quick to judge a black man as soon as he go to the toilet. What you going into the bathroom for? You in there talking to that bitch? Or what you going to the store for? You trying to meet up with a hoe or something? You know, things like that. Because she don't know the values and moral fiber of herself. So it's like, if I don't know myself, I don't know this guy. So it basically keep her in a confused despair in society. And you know, even if she was to get a good valued man that will really love her for who she is, she won't know how to accept it. Take it from me. I've had my share of females that didn't see themselves as value. And when you have this type of entity going on in our society, in our communities, it basically rubs off a generational curse to the young generation to basically repeating the process. And see, Kevin Samuels basically was trying to talk about that and trying to change the game on that. But most black women didn't want to accept what he had said because they knew the things that he was saying was true, but they wasn't expecting him to say nothing like that because most black women been going around here thinking that they can do this and do that and have no repercussions behind it. So it got to the point where this clean cut brother gets on here on YouTube, have a YouTube channel. And I remember when I first seen him back here in I think 2020, maybe I think it was, when they really started talking about him. He really didn't have that many. He had a lot of followers. He had maybe, if I can remember, like 100 some thousand followers. I look up the next following year, 2021. This man had over 1 million followers, and it was growing. And I know out of those millions, majority of them was black women, and they might have hated Kevin Samuel, but they had to listen to the message because they knew that the things that he was saying were true, but they just didn't want to accept. And a lot of them was saying nasty things to him in his comment section to where he had to change up his whole persona of chat room. It's like, if you're going to join my channel, you're going to have to pay, which he did right. And he revenue generated a lot of money off that channel. And he talked about real stuff, and a lot of black women, some of them anyway, basically accepted what he had to say. And some of them, they said, hey, he changed my life. Now I can see clearer. But for the majority rule, they were basically clowning the brother, calling him gay, saying he was weak, he was lame, and just saying all kind of things about him. But they could never debate him on what he basically put out there. They will all get stuttered up and hoop and holler or get mad, and he just cut them off because he ain't got time to be worrying about her emotional feelings, because either you want to learn or you don't. But even so, the brother, we lost him May 5th, 2022. And when I heard about he had died, I thought it was probably a little hoax, or they were just basically playing this, wanted to, cursed him out for death because he was hated that bad on social media. Because I've seen posters where black women was like, they can't stand him, they hate him, and damn near wished he was dead. But the brother died, and from what I heard, word of mouth, they was having, some black women were having death to Kevin Samuels parties and stuff. They would high-fiving each other, laughing at him being dead and everything. Well, now, here's where it's going to really rub feathers. Black women, you got yourself really happy and hunky-dory that this brother passed back here. And I'm talking to the ones that was very excited about the brother's death. It's funny that you guys say that you are Christian women, because most majority of them say they're Christian women, and that you say Jesus Christ is your personal Lord and Savior. I kind of find that to be comical, because Jesus Christ was these fellows' personal Lord and Savior too. Now, this is a church for the Ku Klux Klan. And you see that sign in the background? It says Jesus Saves. And guess what? Them fellas couldn't stand the skin you was in and couldn't stand the skin I was in. That I'm in. The skin that you in and the skin that I'm in. They can't stand neither one of us. What you mean, Chaos? Okay. You basically is going off the same template as the KKK. And I find that to make a good connection because they hate you. You hate yourself. And you hate that brother Kevin. But Kevin never lynched you. Kevin never told you to go and get an abortion. Kevin never raped you, kidnapped you, basically took your heritage from you. He didn't do any of those things. All he did was just trying to get you straight to the point of being who you really are, and that's a woman. Staying feminine instead of being masculine like a man. But it's obvious, but it comes clearly because you can accept these guys and don't have no smoke for them. You can accept guys like this that feel like they want to be a woman, acting like you. Y'all can kill your own sister just because she got higher ranking job than you have, and all she wanted to do was be a friend. But you'll listen to her telling you that you don't need a man. You love them, people like them, before you love yourself. So you end up lonely, talking about that you don't need a man, but you lonely. You feeling some type of way because that's the natural being of yourself. It's to love yourself and to love the opposite sex, to generate a family with. Because you can't get out here and change the tire in your car. You can't change the oil in your car. You can't do really manly man stuff. You try, but it's not set up for you to do. But at the same time, you say, well, I ain't got a man around to do these things for me. Well, if you learn, stop, look and listen and learn how to control your emotions, you can get a man. You can get a man that's going to basically fit your caliber. And that's all this brother basically was talking about. God rest the dead to the brother Kevin Samuels. Thank you for trying to empower our sisters. Your boy Chaos. Deuces.